W6BBS, testing to see if I got the stream running right, and yes I do. Good evening, one and all, the stream is up. in, Michael B. Where are you?
Good evening, Frank. W6BBS, KM6SRR.
KM6SRR, W6BBS. Good evening to you, Rob. Just so you know, the stream is up and all that's working, so we're ready to rock and roll here. And just FYI, I was speaking to Sean, the tech we told you about last night down at Signature Solar, and I said, hey, you got a minute, I want to tell you a little story. And I kind of told him about the Bozo Net and us being hams and all the talk. And I said, this little problem with this inverter has one guy that's, looking at anywhere from a $20,000 to $50,000 system. And I said, he could walk away if this doesn't get resolved. So you guys working on this real hard and getting on and all that, he's now still interested, and he's going to come look at the whole setup. And I said, we got other guys, a huge contest station, and there's a lot of guys with some interest in it. So it behooves you to take care of Mr. Michael Stahl, because he talks to a lot of people, and even the people, not everybody, I'm not saying that right. There's even people listening that we're not aware that they're there because they don't talk to us, but we know there's a lot of people monitoring. So anyways, some good conversations with him today, Rob. Over.
Well, what were his thoughts on it? Was he first off, did he help you guys the way you wanted? Over.
Well, yeah, our big issue initially was that we called in and we told the tech we was talking to couldn't tell us anything, didn't know anything, and he was a nice guy and all. And I told him, you're a nice guy, but I need to escalate this to somebody, because every question I ask you, you get off the phone for 10 minutes and come back and still don't have the answer. So let me talk to somebody higher up the chain. And well, the only way to do that is you have to make an appointment, and I can't set you an appointment till you send me the pictures. And so I'll send you an email and send me those pictures, and I'll set you an appointment for Monday morning. Monday I didn't get a call, so Monday afternoon I call them, and oh well, no, you got to do this, that, and the other, and send pictures. And I already done all that, and so that was the real issue. Once I got on the phone with this guy, the guy's been very knowledgeable and he's been great, and they're now chasing a different problem, of course, because the only real problem the inverter had was we're just not getting the reports out of it when there's failures and what they are, and so tracking is very difficult. But other than that, no, the guy's been really good, and he told me today, he says, we're probably just going to want to warrant and replace that unit, and but we're working on it, and I'm hoping there's a software fix, or maybe they send me the new control board. There's a little module up front that controls that. Maybe send me a new board or something that'll fix it. But right now it's been the new information off to China to those techs, and they'll go from there. So on that note, Rob, I'll catch up to you more on it later. We're into the net technically by 3 minutes. Let's see if we got our net control. K6MYC and everybody else, this is W6BBS DMO7 number 72. No, Michael.
Must be a good dinner, KM6SR.
Yeah, I'm calling the house right now.
He has been known to fall asleep in that nice, comfortable chair, but not when it's really hot out.
Yep, got to step outside to make the call. It's not going to work in here.
Okay, we'll be standing by here, KM6SR, listening.
I just stepped out the door, rang your phone, and then I heard it ring as you keyed down tested power. Good evening, Mike. Your stream is up and running. Everything's good. This is W6BBS72 with KM6SRR is also in there.
Roger, I'll be right with you. Just get one thing here. Hang on.
While you're getting one thing, just so you know, oh man, I'm gonna choke. I've got all your radio controls up in front of me, so if like Aaron would help you and turn stuff off and on for you, I've got all that sitting in front of me. So if you need anything, just let me know.
I need a pen.
I'll tell you where there is one sitting in on top of the two shorter batteries. I was taking some notes in there, so probably on the left-hand battery, maybe the right-hand, there's a pen, a blue pen right there. That's an ink pen, not a felt pen.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit slow finding all the bits and pieces here. W6BBS, KM6SRR, and the Bozo Net, I'm pointed south, and we're looking for KB6RQU or N6SWR, or anybody else that's copying me down that way, A6 Sugar or whoever. K6MYC 432 Bozo Net, over.
AA6S.
Yeah, good evening, Bill.
Yeah, good evening, Michael. Just sitting here hearing dead air and didn't know what was going on. Anyway, I'm pointed towards you, so I got to turn the thing around. I was going to see if Ron was on here too, but I haven't heard him either. Of course, I just turned the stuff on. I've been taking care of our little cat we just got back. Had him, little Siamese guy got declawed, so he's not happy with his cone on his head there. Mikey, go ahead.
Yeah, fine, Bill. Okay, Alpha 6 Sugar, 800. Booming signal up this way. Okay, on your kitty. They'll get over it, but they'll quit hating you in about a week, over.
QSL. Yeah, Roger.
Okay. Let's see. KB6RQ, you happen to be listening here tonight on 432, Rick. KB6RQU, Lake Isabella, K6MYC. Okay, nothing heard from him. If you're turned around, Bill, you could take a standby and see if N6SWR has anything running tonight on 432.
Yeah, Roger, I'm in that direction now. N6SWR or KB6RQU, AA6S, cable label 6 sugar, over. Nothing heard, N6 SWR, N6 SWR, or KB6RQU, AA6S, over. Big nothing, Mikey.
Well, maybe at least Rick will come in a little bit later. Keep your ears out off the backside there. Ron said specifically QUI that he would not be here tonight. So we'll take a standby and see who else we have. We should have K6BBG or somebody up in the Coarse Gold area, maybe WB6JNP, and maybe KG6 Charlie Echo Fox, but I'm not sure he has 432 in the air. And then if we don't hear anybody else, we'll slide over and get Santa Cruz. But let's just see if there's anybody left here. K6MYC Bozo Net, San Joaquin Valley. Everybody's probably busy watching the speech by President Trump there. He's giving his acceptance speech right at this moment. So that's probably going to make us a little thin here tonight. Quite an introduction, I might say. We watched everything right up to the point where he was in the first 2 minutes of his speech, and I thought I'd better come in there and call on that. Hi. Okay. Let's go over toward Santa Cruz and see what we come up with.
Yeah, Roger, I'm heading my antenna. That's what I was doing, too. I came over here late on the ridge here, so that was what I was doing also. AA6S. Tom, are you on here? I don't know if I think I'm pointed in your general direction. I hope. KW6S, KW6S, AA6S, over.
And K6MI.
I hear John. Good evening, John. Hang on. I hear KW6S very weak. He must be pointed wrong.
Yeah, I heard KW6S. You're not real strong. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm not pointed at you here. KW6S, I'll come around a little bit more. KW6S, AA6S. Go ahead, Tom, over. AA6S, KW6S. Yeah, I think everything looks like it's doing what it should on this end. You're doing it pretty strong. I was on the other side of the room and heard you here, so I had to dash over here and get going. AA6S, KW6S. Yeah, Roger, Tom. Good signal. I came over about another 5 or 10 degrees. This 30-some element or 20, whatever it is, this, I don't know how many wavelength long Yagi this thing is on 432, but it's like a flashlight. You go from nothing to where you're strong. I don't know what you do if you had 4 of them up there. Anyway, you're smoking in here, Tom. KW6S and Mikey is on frequency also. KW6S, AA6S. Back to you, Tom, over. Yeah, AA6S, KW6S. Yeah, I heard Mike on there as well. And, I like the gain, but I don't like the pattern when you get a lot of elements on there. This one's quite a bit smaller than what you have. And so maybe my pointing isn't quite as critical, but then I don't get the gain. So it all is a trade-off. AA6S, KW6S. Yeah, Roger, Tom. Well, this thing is pretty directional. I think I'd rather have 2 short ones instead of one real long one there. But anyway, no room on the tower. Over to you, Mikey. K6MYC, AA6S, over.
Okay, very good. Anybody else want to pop in before I pick it up? K6MYC.
Sure. How you doing, Tom? KW6S. This is Kilo Mike 6. Sierra Romeo, over.
KM6
SRR, KW6S. Good evening there, Rob. You're doing quite well tonight.
Roger, you kind of faded out the end there, but thanks for being there. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, somebody else called at the same time you did, Rob. Who else was calling in? Go ahead. I'm sure I heard another voice there. We should have Kevin in Gilroy in here as well.
Yeah, you heard a voice. I don't know who it was.
And it was a voice in there with you that time. Who was it again? Try it again, please. Whoever it is unlucky enough to be timing yourself for coverage every time. Over.
That was me last time. It's Lee was in there.
711.
I got you, John. 711. We've got you. K6MI. Maybe you want to say hello to Tom, and then we'll get Kevin in here in Gilroy. K6 Mexico, Italy. K6MYC.
Oh, I'm good, and just in and out, up to my neck in alligators. K6MI.
Okay, very good, John. And with that, let me shoot it over to you, Kevin, and see how we're doing. WA6JKN, K6MYC, Bozo Net, over. Might not have been him. Who was at the other station that wanted to call in? Maybe it's AF6 Yankee, AF6 United, over.
That's who it is, AF6 United. I'm out here. The pea shooter is out here. The countdown Bozo, 1098.
AF6U, Able 6 Sugar.
AA6 Sugar, yeah, I've got you in there.
Yeah, you're Q5 here in Visalia. AF6 United, Able 6 Sierra. Watsonville, you're Q5 in Visalia. Go ahead, over.
Tom's team tap, I guess.
You guys doubled all the way.
Doubled all the way, huh? I guess I need to use Vox on this thing. AF6U, AA6S, Q5 in Visalia, over.
Roger. You are Q5 here, also in Watsonville, just south of where Tom is.
Roger, Watsonville. Okay, I'll stand by here. AF6 United, Able 6 Sierra.
Okay, that's Lee, by the way, Bill. His handle is Lee. That used to be a different call sign. That's probably why it's new to you. AF6 United just got his call changed. So he is 1098. The countdown Bozo, 1-10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1. Hi. Okay, good evening, Lee. Good signal. And no problem copying at all. So the quad's working pretty well for you. Finally, now that you got all the bits and pieces pointed in the right direction and making connections. So back to you, and then you can shoot it to Tom, and Tom can check and see if there's anybody else that wants to say hi to him, and then we're off and running here into the Bay Area. AF6 United and the group, K6MYC Bozo Net, 432.
K6MYC, AF6 United. Yeah, I'm still going to get this thing up higher, so I think it's going to do a little bit better probably a month or two from now, but slow progress, but I'm working my way at it. K6MYC, AF6U, and turning it over to KW6S. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, very good, Lee and Mike. Yeah, it's been a pleasant day here, a little bit warmer, and everything's going pretty well. And we're going to, Lee and I are going to go cut an antenna out of the brush tomorrow, where it's been laying for some time, and hopefully on the HF bands he'll pick up a bit of more signal as well. Anyway, K6MYC, KW6S.
Okay. Very good. Fine copy on everybody. Now let's take a standby. Anybody else before I move right into the Bay Area? We could pick up Brett, N5 NPD. We could pick up any number of others, including KWA6JKN. Who do we have? K6MYC, Bozo Net, 432. All quiet. Okay, so I'm going to go into the Bay Area. Here we go. To bump it up a little bit, and I don't think that's keeping us from being heard, but maybe everybody's watching the convention. K6MYC into the Bay Area, Bozo Net, 432, QRZ.
KD6SOK, good evening, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, Fred. KD6SOK, I thought I might hear you. And thanks for coming in here, tearing yourself away from the convention. Do they even shoot it? When I was there 8 years ago, they wouldn't even put the Republican convention on the air in the Bay Area. None of the Bay Area TV stations carried it over.
It's on all the stations right now. I just stepped away from the TV set so I could check into the net. I tried to check in last night on 2 meters, but I had an F9 noise floor, so there's no possibility of any communication. I can think 20 years ago, I had no noise floor, and now it's just continuous racket. Anyway, good to hear you tonight, Mike. Yeah, I just thought I'd check in, and something else I forgot. What was the question again? 86.
Oh, I don't think I had a question, Fred, but we did get you checked in last night. All the guys said you were there, but just had to leave because, and they didn't give me a reason, but I assumed it was something pressing or a noise problem or something. So, anyway, you did get checked in last night on 2 meters, so not to worry. And I thank you for being there. Okay. Good signal here tonight. I've seen you stronger, but I may not have been right on you here. Very strong, but very, very, not the most bodacious signal I've seen. But again, I didn't try tweaking the antenna so strong I didn't need to. All right. Let's see if there's some others up there in the Bay Area that can tear themselves away from the TV. Yeah, it was really funny. Myrna and I were actually in an apartment house. Mrs. Hewlett Packard or Mrs. Packard or Mrs. Hewlett, I think it was Mrs. Packard, had bought a bunch of condos or light apartment houses right across the street from Stanford Hospital. And Myrna was so weak from chemo that we were booked in there, and we were stuck for the whole summer, so we watched the convention. But we tried. We did listen to it on the radio, but nobody played it on TV. There wasn't a signal channel that carried it. I thought that was kind of gross. Anyway, I'm glad they woke up and are smelling the roses this year. KD6SOK. Thanks, Fred. Bye for your final, and then we'll look for others. K6MYC.
Okay, yeah, Mike, yeah, it's on right now. It's Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 5, and Channel 7. Those are the ones I get anyway. And also on KQED, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, I'll let you go, and hopefully some other folks will check in. 7-3 Mike, KD6SOK.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, and we'll see you maybe Sunday night, if not Sunday night, certainly on Monday on 222 there. Thanks, Fred. Good evening. Should be a pretty interesting weekend with all the things that are going to happen or should happen. Hi. KD6SOK, Cupertino, K6MYC, Bozo Net, 432, Bay Area, please.
N5MPD, 1129.
Okay, I got 1129, and I heard Whiskey Bravo. Stand by a second, Brett. WB6, Whiskey Mike, November, Italy. Was that you, Gary?
Yes, it was, Mike. The band is going up and down, but I want to say hi when you're coming in strongly. It's K6MYC, baby, 679-1090.
Yeah, very good, Gary. We got you. I moved the antenna a little bit more. I may not have it quite on you yet, but brought you way up, so perfect copy now. And doing quite well here on 432. Good evening to you. And, boy, we sure had up and down signals from you on 2 meters the other night. It was just up and down, in and out. And then I finally found the right heading. There was a funny path on 2 meters last night. Most of the time I have to go north to get the signal stronger on you guys and on several other areas and several other directions. But last night I had to go south. I had to stop short of where I would normally rotate in the clockwise direction. Hi. So it's been a funny week for propagation. Back to you, Gary, and then we'll take a standby and see if there's others there. I know I have Brett, so I'll pick up Brett next. WB6WNI in the group, K6MYC. Go ahead.
K6MYC, yeah, WB6WNI and the group. Very good, Mike. USC, so I want to keep it short, but to answer the 2-meter question, yes, the beam had turned about 1.5 degrees, 1.5. So I have to go and reset it. So that was the reason it actually did turn in the wind. Anyway, I'll say 73 to you in the group, and let me move on to the next person, K6MYC, WB6WNI.
Okay, very good. WB6WNI, K6MYC. Okay, on the 15-degree wind area, error. And that's not too much, but that's why you weren't quite up to your normal signal strength there, and maybe coming in from a direction that wasn't normal either. As I remember, I had to turn quite a bit south for you. Very good, Gary. Good evening to you. Thanks very much for your consistent check-ins here on the nets. Appreciate it. WB6WNI, let's see, Campbell, San Jose, K6MYC.
Yeah, 73, Mike. Yeah, Campbell, San Jose, that is correct. Anyway, 73, and good evening.
7-3, and right over to you, Brett. N5 NPD, K6MYC. Go ahead, 1129.
Good evening, Mike and Judy. Brett over here in Newman. Yeah, I heard some mention about watching the Republican National Convention. I never watch that stuff. I'd rather they show me than tell me what they want to do. I voted Republican my entire adult life, and that's fine. But, yeah, those things, you know, I'm not going to watch them. Please just show me. Show my wallet what you're going to do for me. That's what I say. Over.
Yeah, well, that's fine. This one's in a unique convention, however. It's the most spirited, even all the newscasters and everybody's saying this is the most exciting convention they've been to in 30 or 40 years. So everybody is really pumped up, and it's a very good venue. There's some very good speakers that are telling you what they're going to do, and they're also giving the history of why what has happened has happened and how they're going to fix it. We had a great speaker the other night. I thought, this guy's going to be the mayor or the governor of Ohio pretty soon. He's just a mayor of Paris in Ohio, that little tiny town that got smoldered when the train wreck occurred and all the chemical contamination occurred. That mayor is sharp. He gave a great speech. So, yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're seeing. We're also seeing some great speeches from well-known people. Dana White introduced the president this evening. Dana White of UFC. Kid Rock did another introduction, and Lee Greenwood did a musical introduction as well. So the president was well introduced, along with speeches from his son and many others. It was a very inspirational last 2 hours. So you wouldn't have been disappointed, I think, even though you don't watch those things normally. I get bored with them as well, but this was truly inspirational. And I'm 87, ain't my first rodeo. I've been there and back, but this was a good one. Over.
Oh, well, very good. Yeah, I guess I missed out then. Yeah, you know, the country needs a lot of unity. It's been pretty divisive for many years there. So, yep, I'm all on board. Yep, bring everything back together and let's call it good. Let's be friends. Back over to you, Mike. K6MYC and 5NPD.
Yeah, well, that's basically the underlying current and thought of the whole thing, everything. Let's bring it back together. Let's get this thing back to a civil conversation again. We can have differences, but at least we can talk about them, and we don't have to call each other Hitler and other similar things that inspired the shooters like we had last Saturday. So, get the calm it down a little bit, and that's what they're doing. Trump is giving a very mellow speech compared to him tonight. Very, very mellow, very humble, and So you'll find it's very much worth watching, and you might even be able to turn it on now and catch the end of it. Wouldn't break my heart if you did that. Go ahead.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's where we need to be, you know, get things done for the American people instead of, you know, fighting about impeachments and not doing this and not doing that and being stagnant there. You know, there's a lot of things that need to be done in our country, and it takes both sides to get that stuff done. So if we don't work together, then it's not going to get done. So send it back over to you, Mike, K6NYC N5NPD.
Brad. Well, that's the theme, so go turn it on and take a look and see if you don't agree with me. 73's my friend. I don't know if you get Fox or cable news. Fox channel has really, really excellent coverage with good comment in between with Sean Hannity and many others, so you'll get in-between comments besides to analyze and update. 73. K6NYC Bozo Net, Bay Area, still looking for check-ins from the Bay Area for 432.
WA6AXX.
Okay, good evening, Ed. WA6AXX 773. I imagine you're watching some of it, huh?
Oh, just a little bit here and there. Hey, so they nominated a convicted felon. Can't make this stuff up. By the way, it was J.D. Vance that called Trump America's Hitler. So you can put that on J.D. Vance, okay?
I know he did. And, of course, he's long since taken that back. He's not the only one to call Trump Hitler. But he did in the early days because he didn't think Trump was any good. But he found out that he was wrong. That's why he's over there now, and that's why he's running for vice president. So, well, you know, the convicted felon thing is a joke, and you know it, Ed. Anyway, we won't embarrass you anymore.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Let's see if you can stick around a minute. Maybe you can hear anybody that I can't hear, although I've got really good signals from the Bay Area this evening, so maybe we can get along without it, but sometimes it's really marginal. But tonight it's very good over that way so far. I have not heard W6PQL. I have not heard WB6JNN. I have not heard AB6SR. I have not heard KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, and maybe a couple of others that I'm overlooking. So we'll see what happens here. QRZ, the Bay Area, and K6KLY is missing also. K6MYC with a hiccup. Okay, I hear you, Dane. WB6JNP, very, very light. You must be, I must have you in a null here, but we've got you. Anyway, hang on a second. We'll clean up and make sure there's nobody else in the Bay Area there. WB6JNP, course gold, K6MYC. You're logged in. Hang on. Anybody else of the folks mentioned, or anybody else for that matter? K6MYC Bozo Net. Otherwise, I'm going to go up to Oakley.
KB6WSC is in there.
Holy cow.
It's Dane there. He was saying something. I didn't catch it because you covered him.
Who was Dane?
Roger.
Well, he's so weak I can't even copy him, so that's why I didn't know he was saying anything.
Yeah, hey, Dane, say it again. I'll relay for you. Okay, I guess you just didn't hear that, Mike. So, yeah, he just was acknowledging the check-in, and he's back to doing other things. Good evening to everybody. Carry on, Mike.
I can't believe it. I couldn't hear a trace of him. He wasn't even, like, there. That's unheard of. It's got to either be weird conditions or maybe something's wrong with the system there. You're hearing it, but I couldn't even tell he was in there. So that's why I talked over you, Dane. Sorry about that. On, and thanks for checking in this evening, Dane. WB6JNP, K6MYC, now standing by 4, and I bumped the antenna more in your direction. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie. Go ahead, Mike. I don't hear him at all, Ed.
Did you hear him?
Not a peep. I cannot hear a trace of him.
Okay, well, he's weak here. My antenna's pointed the other way. But, yeah, KB6WSC is in there, so you might log him in. And you might, if you want to try again, I don't know if you're right on him with your antenna. But anyway, WA6AXX.
Oh, I went back and forth across the whole spectrum of the Bay Area, and I couldn't find a trace of Mike. Once again, Mike, maybe it'll come up out of the noise. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, K6 MYC, over. Not a trace, Ed.
Okay, yeah, he just finished calling him. So yeah, I guess you can't copy him. So Mikey has you, and you're logged in. So there you go. K6MYC WA6AXX.
Is he hearing me, Mike? I mean, Ed, is he hearing me?
Mike, are you hearing Mikey?
There's no trace here either, Mike.
Negative. Mike is not hearing you, Mikey. No copy. So he was just calling during openings.
Okay. And what did you say, Frank?
I was just telling you that there was no trace of him here either, not even a murmur. So it's not you.
Well, I normally hear him. He's not really bodacious most of the time on 432, but I usually hear him. But when I go 3 or 4 transmissions and don't hear a peep, not even a murmur. I mean, 20 dB below readable, not even detectable, not even a bubble in the noise. That's really strange. I just wonder if he's got something turned off there or something. Anyway, thank you for the relay, Ed. We appreciate it. Now, let's see. Is there anybody else that's in that same condition that is not hearing me? Maybe you can give a call, Ed. If he didn't hear me, it's a wonder that he called blindly, over.
Yeah, anybody else? Maybe you can't hear Mike. I've got some noise here. It's I think it's radar or something, but it's like S8, S7. So can't hear real weak signals, but I did hear Mike in there. Anybody else want to check in? WA6AXX.
Here, K6WLIS, very weak on the scatter path, but maybe I can find a better path. Paul, we've got you, 637. And Paul, do you have any relays, over?
Thank you much. K6MYC and the group for K6WIS. You're very weak signal here, S1Q4, so I didn't think I would be able to contact you, but anyway, that's great. No relays. Back to you, K6WIS.
6RO.
Roger. Hang on, Ken. N6RO with K6 Whiskey India Sugar, K6MYC. Okay, Paul, we got you. 100% copy, but right on the noise floor. Perfect copy. I didn't miss a word. No relays. Thank you for checking in, Paul. And maybe we'll be better when we get on the direct path. The bounce path has been kind of funny the last couple of days. That's really weird. Anyway, hang in there for a few minutes. I'm coming up your way very shortly, Paul, on the direct path. In the meantime, November 6 Radio Oscar, good signal. Go ahead, K6MYC.
K6MYC, N6RO. How do, Judy and Mike? Nothing really drastic to report. The temperature was 99, and I'm in the middle of my Thursday night multitasking, so I won't stick around. N6RO, see you Sunday.
Yeah, okay. See you Sunday. Have a good weekend. Do you have a contest this weekend?
Actually, I'm going to mess around in the worldwide VHF contest, 6 and 2 meters.
Oh, that's the CQ Worldwide?
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah, we might try to get on there a little bit. I think it starts at about the same time as the ARRL one, but I think it ends shorter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it starts at 11 o'clock our time.
And it's done on 11 o'clock Sunday morning.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't checked the rules.
Okay, well, maybe I'll try to get in there Saturday for a few minutes at the beginning anyway. We'll see what we can stir up. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, the station will be a new CHF station in the RTTY contest, but I'll be at another position.
Yeah, okay. sounding real good here tonight. Frank, are you copying Ken okay? Frank might be in the shack. It might have boiled over there, over.
No, I heard a noise. Sometimes I think maybe Jennifer's yelling at me or something out here. And it's the neighbors down the hill, and they're down below me. They're eighth a mile away, but it's just their voices carry right up here. And I just want, as a reference, not to Ken. Hi, Ken. Good evening. But I forgot even who we were talking to. The guy you were working right before Ken, that was writing the noise for there. I had like an 80% copy on him. There was no S meter movement or anything, but I heard most of what he was saying as he went along there. He just the noise took him out a little bit. So I had him a little weaker than you, but that's to be expected considering antennas. The last two comparisons on the last two stations, it sounds like your station's working fine, Mike, by my ears and what I see on your scope, and compared to what I normally hear with these guys, over.
Yeah, well, the other station was Paul. He's in Placerville, and he was working as backscatter because I'm still pointed to the north side of the Bay Area. So he was backscatter. In fact, I went south. I'm probably clear back down to 282, 284, something like that. That seemed to be a better path for him tonight, which is odd. Normally he peaks about 288 to 292. But anyway, that was Paul. And then, of course, Ken was in there very strong. Thanks, Frank. And we'll see if there's anybody else before we move the antenna. K6MYC Bozo Net looking for maybe Clear Lake. Anybody copying N1 PPP, please, over. I don't hear anybody. I guess he isn't there, or he's not copying me at this time. We'll go north. When we go north, he usually hears me. Okay, let's try for Darren. Darren, KJ6KFB. KJ6 Kilo Foxtrot Bravo. KJ6KFB, K6MYC. How are you doing, Darren? Okay, now a peep from Darren, even though he's got a smashing 8 watts. Okay, let's see if Bill is in there. KO6KD, Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Delta. KO6KD, K6MYC. Any copy, Bill? KO6KD, KO6KD, K6MYC, over. Okay, nothing heard from Bill. KR6MR, Kilo Romeo 6, Mexico Romeo. I'll move the antenna a little bit more. I'll peek on you when I hear you. KR6MR, K6MYC. Go ahead, John.
KR6MR, Bozo 759759. Very, very, very weak. Over.
Yeah, very, very skewed path. I'm pointed now at 340 for you, but copy pretty good now. I'll copy on me, over.
A little better.
Yeah, you came way up. So we got your 759. Thank you, John. And have you heard Bill? Have you heard Bill or Darren, either one, over?
Negative. Have not heard either one.
Okay, way up on that one. Frank, are you hearing John?
Yeah, and I was just sitting there thinking about making a comment. See, I hear those guys up around 335, and I can hear John once again about 80%. But I heard your report and all that, and as long as the noise doesn't come up too much, because the noise is fairly good for me right now. But yeah, I do hear him.
Okay, John, are you copying Frank?
Negative, do not copy.
Okay, how much power are you running, John, over?
70 watts, over.
Yeah, See, I heard that he wasn't hearing me, and I heard the 70 watts. Over.
Frank's copying you 100%, at least to get 70 watts, and you were not hearing him, and he's running 70 watts also. So you may have some noise there, or you've got a numb front end. Do you have the preamp turned on the 997?
Say again, you were broken. Over.
I said, do you have the preamp turned on? You have the preamp turned on the 997?
Yes, I do. Over.
Okay, well, you should be hearing. You must be hearing more noise then, huh?
Mike, if he's having trouble hearing you with your power and antennas, he's never going to hear me.
Good evening, John. This is K6WIS.
Hi, Paul. K6WIS.
Hearing Paul, Frank?
Yeah, WIX, yeah.
XS Sugar.
Yeah, into Placerville there, John. KR6MR from K6WIS. Stand by for Mike.
Good copy, Paul, and you're also being heard by Frank, W6BBS. You're much better on the direct path, Paul.
Yeah, Roger, you are too. You're a 5x3, and I can hear Frank in there about a 4x1. So good evening there, Frank. I think this is our first exchange on 70 centimeters. If you can hear me, I'll pass it over to you there. W6BBS. This is K6WIS in Charlie Mike 98, over.
Okay, I missed the second half. You took a fade on me, but you're basically about an S2, and I heard the first part of that. Over.
Okay, I heard the over, and you heard the first part, but I guess I faded. Yes, there's deep QSB fades, so you just have to keep repeating things over and over again, and eventually I'll get it. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Now, that time was 100% copy. You were about an S2 and then coming in just fine. So, well, top of the evening to you. Good signal into Coarse Gold, California, DMO7, over.
Roger. Yes, all the way to DMO7 and Coarse Gold. Thanks very much for the contact. I think it's the first one for me, so I definitely got you in my log. Thanks, Frank. I'll pass it back to Mike. This is K6WIS. Over.
Okay. I'll copy the whole time, Paul, so we've got pretty good combo. Much better than the direct path. That's weird. I don't know what's going on with the direct path. There's some blockage. I couldn't hear a couple of the stations over there in the Bay Area at all, not a trace. So very strange conditions. Anyway, we'll have to get by with it. And I guess let me ask you again, John, if you can hear me with the antenna skewed a little bit toward Paul. Have either one of you heard KO6KD or KJ6KFB tonight? Go ahead, John, and then over to Paul.
Yeah, I have not heard either one. Have not heard Bill or Darren. Have not heard either one. Over.
Roger. Okay, and I bumped it back about 3 or 4 degrees. See how critical this is? That should be better. Okay, not heard either one. Well, Bill is still, I think, under the weather, and he's not suffering. He's not doing too well. His mother passed away, as you know. His mother did finally pass away, and I guess that's left a big hole in his heart and maybe some other complications, and I don't know what they are, but he seems like it's only going to get harder from here on out, so I don't know what that means exactly. Over.
Yeah, everyone takes the loss of family members different. He was very close to her, so it was really hard. Over.
Yeah, but I got the impression it was more a matter of paperwork and shuffling of ownership of this and that and the other thing. His sister's involved in there on the outs. He's on the outs with his sister. Over.
Yeah, I got the same feeling. Over.
Yeah, so that's part of it. Hopefully not. Hopefully it won't take too long. I know he misses his mother, but he hadn't seen her for quite some time, and I know he wanted to do that before she passed away, but it just wasn't possible with his situation. Okay. Well, we all have thoughts in our heart for Bill. We know how that is to be already in a destitute situation with your own health and then lose your mother. That's got to be really tough. Okay, and we still haven't heard Darren or Bill, but I'll take one more standby before we go to Nevada. KJ6 KFB, any copy, Darren? A lot of interference from Beale Air Force Base, but and I guess Bill KO6KD, any copy? Nothing from Bill. I'll try to be in there on 40 meters in the morning. This morning I got up, but I couldn't to get in. We were on the trail to get out of here, and I wasn't running late on doing the things I had to do to leave, but we had an eye appointment for Judy, and I had to go into town and leave here at about 8:30, quarter to 9. I just didn't have time to do all that and get on the net or get on the frequency on 40 meters like we normally do. So we'll be there tomorrow. 7-3s, guys. K6MYC. One more call into the Sacramento area. KE6ILX or KW6T or N6RZJ. K6MYC. Calling and listening. All quiet. So I'm going to go to Nevada. Here we go. Okay, here we are up to Nevada, and we should have a little bit of a signal from KD6BQ. Too many calls that are too similar here. KD6BQ, Kilo Delta 6 Bravo Queen, K6MYC. Richard? Roger. Got your 249 all okay. It's a little weak. It would be probably readable Q3 on sideband, but no worries. We got you checked in, and thank you very much for being there, Richard. You need to get some goo. You put 100 watts on there, you'll be solid all the time. KD6BQ. Thank you, Richard. K6MYC. Over. Roger, thanks to you as well. Now, N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT. How about you, Larry? Again, no Larry. And how about Daniel? KE7 UQL, KE7 Uniform Quebec London, KE7 UQL, Kilo Echo 7 Uniform Quebec London, 272 K6MYC. How about it, Daniel?
It is 272. This is 272. KE7 UQL. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, we got you. Pretty solid. It's a little wavery, but pretty decent signal, Richard. Daniel, and I'm sure it will come up here very shortly. Let me just check with Frank. Are you hearing anything at all from him, Frank?
Yeah, I heard a little bit in there, but not good enough to make too much out, Mike.
Well, that's all right, because your antenna is much smaller than mine. You also have some blockage, so if you're hearing anything, you're doing pretty good. And if you put the bigger system up there, you'll start to work contact with these guys. Very good, Daniel. Thank you very much for being there as always. And, of course, I always say it, but we always look forward to hearing you again on Sunday night. Hi. So Sunday night on 2 meters, look forward to it, Daniel. KE7 UQL got a mental blank. K6MYC. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yes, Roger. I heard Frank come back to you. Why don't you have him keep his call sign? I'll see if I can hear him. Over.
Okay, Frank, give him your call sign. He heard you. So give him your call sign and your grid a couple of times, Frank. Over.
Yeah, it's Whiskey 6, Bravo, Sierra. Whiskey 6, Baker, Sugar. Whiskey 6, Bravo, Sierra. Delta Mike 07, DMO 7, Delta Mike 07. Over.
Over, Daniel.
Okay, I've got the DMO 7, and I heard a Bravo, but the rest of it faded on me. Over.
Okay, yeah, well, you're close. You guys will make it if he starts to hear you. How much power are you running, Daniel?
This is close to 80, over.
Oh, 80 watts. Well, you're hearing better than he is then. He's running 70. 70 watts there, Daniel. And that's W6 Bravo Sierra, W6 BBS. He's in coarse gold with a very small M2 Yagi, over.
Okay, Roger. I'll have a pair of 440-18s. They'll be stacked for first weekend in August. He should give me a try then, over.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he will. He'll be here. He isn't going anywhere there. Did you hear that, Frank?
No, I hear him in there, but it's just like a murmur, and I pick up a word now and again, Mike, over.
Okay, because he got real strong on the last transmission. That's why I thought you would hear him. He was armchair copy. You're as strong as you are.
Yeah, I didn't quite hear that, but but you got me thinking about something. You know, I've got the power now. I need to clean up this mess and maybe bring that amplifier rack in there. And well, you know what I would have on 432 if I bring the big power supply and everything in here.
Yeah, he could run you about 12 to 1500 watts there. Daniel. So one of these days you'll hear Frank like a ton of bricks, and he'll probably obviously be able to hear you better if he puts a preamp in the system. Although he's got a 997, and he's been hearing as better than most people on the other end. So you're out hearing him tonight. You must have a very quiet location up there, Daniel, over.
Okay, Roger. Yeah, he came up a little bit. I heard him talking with you. We'll give him a chance on the first weekend in August. We'll have the antennas pointed that way quite a bit, over.
Okay, very good. First weekend in August he's going to be on, and he'll have two 440-18 stacked. Right now he just has a single, so he'll be stronger and higher first weekend in August, Frank, over.
Roger. And, you know, as you know, I've just got that one little, I don't know, what is that, a 16-element antenna or something up there, and not even very high. And I do look straight into some mountains and stuff in this direction. But once I get any antenna 50 feet higher, I got a pretty clear shot past Deadwood in their direction. So, you know, in the future, you know, like you say, when I get up a couple of real antennas and get the amplifier online, I will have some serious signal from here.
Yeah, that'll be good. It'll be good to have more than one or two of us, right? Rob gets in there from time to time. In fact, we should see if Rob's hearing him tonight. How about it, Rob?
Kinda. I heard Daniel a little bit there, over.
Yeah, Daniel, are you copying Rob?
Negative on Rob, negative.
Give him a call, Rob.
KE7UQL, Kilo Echo 7, Uniform Quebec, London. Daniel, this is Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo, KM6SRR, DMO7. Over.
Over, Daniel.
KM6SRR. This is KE7UQL. KE7UQL, Delta Mike 09er. Over.
Rob?
Yeah, I couldn't even tell he was over. I heard a little bit of voice in there. I thought it might have been him, but I can't make it out. Over.
Okay, well, you've made it before with him, so we'll try again on another night. You guys would make it if you stuck with it long enough. He gave you his call and his Delta Mike 09 there, over.
Roger.
Okay. Very good, Daniel. Thanks much. Thanks for the tries. And we'll see you. Let's take one more standby for Larry, N7 Whiskey Tango. N7WT, are you there tonight, Larry? K6MYC in the Bozo Net, 432. Larry's taking a breather, I think. All right, 7-3, we'll see you Sunday, Daniel and Richard, over.
Roger, KE7UQL, 7-3.
7-3. Dead. Okay, well, let's see. We can go back to the Bay Area. That's the only place where I'm really missing a lot of people here. Let's see. Let me stop here at Clear Lake. Clear Lake, November 1, Papa. November 1, PPP, and 1 PPP. Clear Lake, any copy? K6MYC, over. Nothing heard from Clear Lake tonight. Okay, back down into the Bay Area a little bit more here. There we go. Here we are back into the Bay Area. Let's see if we can hear WB6JNN, K6KLY, and AB6SR. Anybody in the Bay Area? Late checks are missed. 432 Bozo Net, K6MYC. Over. I guess there's nobody there, Rob and Frank, so I guess we're done unless you can. We could try going down to KB6RQU one more time.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's give it a try.
Okay, I'm rotating down that way. W6JKN, are you there? Don't hear anything from Kevin this evening. Well, that's okay. I'm coming around down toward Bakersfield and Lake Isabella now. Lake Isabella. KB6RQU, K6MYC, calling and listening. KB6RQU, KB6 Radio Queen United, Lake Isabella, number 61, K6MYC, over. Okay, all quiet on the Western Front. I don't think Bill was aware enough to go down and try and get Ralph. So he probably did not get Ralph. I didn't hear him come back or even try tonight. Anybody else before we close the net? This is K6MYC, Central California, Delta Mike 07. Over. Okay, we're done, guys. 7-3.
All right, very good. Good night, Michael, and thanks for doing the net, and good night to you, Rob. How about KM6 Serious Republican Racist? Good evening to you, sir. W6BBS.
I guess that works anyway. Okay, Frank. Yeah, Mike, what we haven't got Carrie in here, KC5DTU, and AJ Mike wasn't in here, so missing some regulars. Nor was Dave, VBG, over.
I know we're missing quite a few people tonight. I knew it was going to be a short net, though. But anyway, I'm surprised we haven't got Kerry in here somewhere along the line, but he may still be having trouble with his radios. He has a broken power supply that's not working right. And he could probably get help with it if he took the time. But this week his wife had her toes operated on Monday, so he's probably doing a lot of things that he wouldn't normally be doing to keep her going. Over.
Yep, like a good hubby should there, so he's busy. Yep, that happens from time to time. Anyway, so I got 18. How do you have it?
Well, I can't count. I got about that number. We're close.
Okay, you gave Judy the night off, huh?
Yeah, she's in watching the convention, and I didn't want to tear her away from Trump's speech. I'm trying to get her to love Trump a little bit more. Over.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, I've been working on people, and he's making it easier this time. He's a little more level-headed on things, and his mouth is more under control, and he's acting more presidential stuff, so that helps there. Over.
Yeah, boy, you should have heard the Kid Rock thing. Kid Rock's whole musical thing was the word fight, fight, fight. Boy, I'll tell you what, he rocked the crowd.
All right. Well, it's good to get the masses going and excited about it. Hopefully they can continue that on to the November.
Yeah, I think so. I think they got a movement going now, and I think it's got some momentum. And a lot of things to be experienced over the weekend. You know, we're pretty sure that Biden's not going to run. They aren't going to let him run for president. It's almost a done deal that they won't select him at the convention coming up shortly here. And of course, then it leaves Kamala Harris and everybody 50-50 on Obama's wife, Michelle. God help us. That would be just a gift to that party if they elected her. But I don't think there's enough people that would fall for that crap again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to get Biden out of there if he doesn't willingly go, because he's already earned their delegates, and they have to go against their rules. Over.
Yeah, well, they're going to have him resign here in the next day or so. You watch.
All right. Well, the thing I really worry about is our stupid governor getting his hands in there. Over.
Well, that's almost better than Biden. He would be beaten worse.
Well, anyways. Okay, Mike, K6MYC, KM6SR 73, and 73 to you, Frank, W6BBS, over.
73, good evening to you, Rob, and to you, Michael. And just to let you know, Mike, I'm just looking right now at your battery stuff and everything. The battery's floating at 61% right now, and the house is basically just running off the grid, and the battery is at an idle. And I turned quick charge. I found something here, quick charge, but it does not seem to be doing anything as far as getting any results. So, but I found something interesting, that there may be a way for you to call for a charge from the software. I don't know. We'll have to explore that further tomorrow. But yeah, at this point, with it at 61% and everything, I would just go ahead and run on PG&E through the night, and let me look at the settings here in the morning when I'm a little bit more awake, and because I can do programming right here from the computer. No, I can't. No, I cannot. Not yet. Not until I get that Wi-Fi password straightened out. I have to be on site. But anyways, don't worry about that. But in the morning when the sun comes up, I'd kick the PG&E off and see what happens. Over.
Okay, Matt's running late tonight. He called me. Said he wouldn't be home till 8:30 or 9, so he should be walking in 8 time, and I'll get the password from him and I'll give it to you over the phone. Over.
Negative. It does not do any good to give it to me over the phone. I have to be there with my phone, and there's an app that you download to do this from EG4, and I have to be right there next to the dongle, and the dongle actually puts out a Wi-Fi hotspot, and so I tie my phone into that and then start this program, and it lets me to get in, and inside the dongle I put the Wi-Fi password in there. So I can't do anything from here. I have to be next to the machine. Over.
Okay, no worries. You can do it Saturday, but I'll write it down so we have it here.
Yes, thank you very much.
Righty. With that, I'm gone. 7-3. Good night, Rob. Thank you for your help and attendance, and same with you, Ken, Rob, Frank. I'll get it right, and anybody else that's listening for that matter. And hopefully Aaron and his wife are having a good time back there in Kentucky. K6MYC Bozo Net 432 in Delta Mike 07 will be clear and closing.
This is W6BBS, and I'm trying to get over to the right screen. There's too many screens, too many levels here with me logging in to his place from here. But I am going to take the stream down. Thank you for the last 3 people that are still monitoring there, and it looks like we had 36 different people check in. So thank you all tonight. But it's coming down just about now. Good evening, one and all, from W6BBS.